Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be doing another coaching session for League of Legends. We're going to be looking at Joachim, and I believe it's a Zyra game. Sorry if I butchered that name. It's either Joachim or Joachim. I think Joachim. That's what we'll go with. Now, Joachim did not specify in the email whether this was a Zyra game or an Alistar game. So I'm going to assume it's Zyra because it's a Silver 4, by the way, ranked game. I'm going to assume it's Zyra because this is a one-trick Zyra with 95 games, and this person builds Zyra exactly how I recommend to build Zyra. So maxing E first, penetration reds, blues, health yellows, even the 2 armors, and the 1 Quinn, or the 1 penetration Quint, and then also the exact masteries that I recommend. So this person almost does exactly what I recommend with Zyra, and Zyra is one of my most famous supports for the channel. I have a ton of Zyra content on the channel. My second most played support this season. So I bet it's the Zyra player, but it could be the Alistar player. So I'm actually going to talk about the Zyra perspective most of the time in the video, but I'll also talk about the Alistar perspective just in case it's the Alistar player. So let's go ahead and get in here. If you would like your own coaching session, it's just $20. Just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. We can set that up. You'll get a video that looks just like this one. If you want to see more videos in the playlist, I've got a link there for you as well. And if you want to see some in-depth champion guides, I have a link there, including a Zyra guide. Then I have a link there as well. And you can find this document in the description, as well as timestamps for when the game starts. If you don't care about the pregame and you just wanted to watch the game itself, you can go into the description and jump straight there. The pregame shouldn't take very long, though, because I agree with almost everything that he does in the pregame. Okay, so great control runes, or control wards, rather. He bought 12 control wards this game. That is phenomenal, so that's really, really good. Perfect runes, perfect masteries, just talked about those, so there's not much to say there. As far as the build, I like the build overall. I would highly recommend going Leandri's Torment and just not going Banshees. They don't have anything that's unavoidable damage. That's nice for protecting you against Alistar, I suppose. So maybe if he just constantly keeps flash comboing you to kill you, then maybe you could do that. But I do think that Leandri's is probably a better decision. That's just the most powerful support item for Zyra. But then again, I mean, your team does have a lot of damage. I mean, Cog, Cat, Wukong, all these people do a ton of damage, so maybe you just don't need the damage, you just need to not die anymore. So we'll see how the game unfolds, but in the abstract, I would recommend Leandri's into Void Staff. Other than that, it looks great. As far as the pregame goes, I think you should dominate this lane. As long as Alistar doesn't combo you, you should be able to poke him out, especially if Misfortune doesn't get Doran's shield. I don't know if she does or not, but a lot of times, especially at Silver and Bronze, people don't understand the power of Doran's shield, and so they won't get it. And you can poke them out really easily as Zyra. So we'll see how that unfolds, but I think you should have lane domination. Just watch out for Pantheon ults once he hits 6. That's around when you're level 5 or so. You do not want him to ult behind you because neither one of you has a good escape, Zyra or Kog'Maw in the lane. So that could be a huge problem. So you got to be careful not extending too far before you have eyes on Pantheon with wards. Try to dominate early. It's okay if you don't. If she does get Doran's shield or Alistar just zones you away too much, then that's fine. You can farm up. Your team's going to win the late game with Wukong, Katarina, Kog'Maw. You just have a truckload of damage, so I don't think you don't have to feel pressured to completely dominate early. So that's good news. And I think you have a superior team fight. So, with Katarina, Wukong, I think that you'll absolutely crush them. All they really have is Misfortune for a team fight, which is something. That's very good. But I think that that's a lot better than your split option. I don't think anyone here can split versus Yasuo if Yasuo gets any kills as the game goes on. I mean, maybe Katarina, maybe depending on how Yasuo itemizes. I mean, I guess Wu and Katarina, if they get super fed, could do it. But your team fight is just so strong that I think that's what you should try to steer your team towards doing. Just be careful. So in team fights, just whenever Pantheon wants to drop in, just try to get out of that circle so he doesn't hit you, and then hit him with the E immediately when he lands. And then just ult the Alistar when he comes in, and that should keep everyone else from going on top of your team. Okay, let's go ahead and get in here without much further ado. Yeah, so that was a really fast intro. Good. Good stuff. And I'm just going to write down and take some notes as I watch, and then we'll bring it all together at the end, and let's see if I can give you like a top 5 or so tips. All right, so let's go ahead and get in here. Oh, I need to turn on the sound here really quickly, too. I forgot about I turned it down while I was prepping. There we go. Turned it down a little bit while I was prepping the notes. It does play in the background.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I would not invade. Don't invade, don't invade, don't invade. They have a Pantheon stun. Your team doesn't really have anything.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, good. You just want to be sitting around here getting all the plants for him. That's cool. Talk PCs. Alright, he's got it. Don't stay too long. You don't want to miss this experience. You actually have a pretty powerful level 2. Yeah, so I know you want to help, but I think just spawning a Q and like a couple of auto attacks is fine, and then just run to lane, because you really don't want them to hit level 2 with Alistar before you do. I realize also that you don't have the cog, so you're probably a little scared to go in lane, and that's legit. But in general, you know, you want to make sure you're there to get that experience. Level 2 especially is a really big deal in a lot of matchups. You know, flash out of there. Gotta remember, Kog'Maw is still only level 1. Yeah, so just chill for a little bit. Give him some time to catch up. I recommend running Ignite with Zyra as well. I typically will run Exhaust on almost everybody, but Zyra is one of those champions where they really need to die when you all in them. And she has the power to do that early on, so I would definitely run Ignite. They don't really have a massive scaling person that you need to exhaust other than Yasuo. And, you know, Yasuo, it's not, watch out, he's gonna combo you. Yeah. Back up, back up. Alistar, if he combos you again, you're gonna be in trouble. Be careful, don't auto... Okay, that's fine. He's gotta be really careful attacking in front of their minions too, because they'll start attacking you. Okay, so pretty good overall so far. I mean, losing the summoners early was a bit problematic. You just gotta wait on Cog to catch up. So now he's caught up. How are we looking CS-wise? Yeah, he's basically even. She got a coal, which is a really bad idea. You don't want to get a coal, especially in bronze and silver, because people just aren't going to farm it fast enough for it to matter. Like in really high elo where people get like every farm, where you can, you know, cash in a coal in 10 minutes or so, then it's worth, but sometimes, but not really in bronze and silver, because it'll take you, you know, 17, 20 minutes to farm that coal out. Yeah, y'all need to just leave right now. She could, I guess she already used her flash, but as far as Alistar's perspective, Relic Shield's good. I mean, I thought he's had good engages. He should have, I'm going to say he, that actually could be you. If that's you, then that's you. But he should have headbutted you and pushed you into the wall and then Q'd you when he engaged there. Whoever he engaged on. It was either you or Cog, I don't remember. But a lot of times Alistars will make the mistake of just doing a full combo when they're next to a wall, where you get that extra little half a second of crowd control if you pin them into the wall and then Q. It's a little bit longer, and that might have killed you. Excuse me. Alright, what'd you get? Upgraded that. I would probably honestly just get an Amp Tome there. It's going to give you a lot more power. This is going to give you some more gold, but since they don't have any summoners and they have no escapes, if you hit them with a root and you have an Amp Tome, they're like 100% dead. I would just go for the kill here. I'd get Bloodthirsty and go for the Amp Tome. You could turn it into Leandry's later, but I think that this is just not enough power right now. I really want to abuse them for the next, you know, 4 or 5 minutes while their flash is down. So I would go Amp Tome. Okay, step up, step up. It's right here. Yeah, he'll, right there. E. Perfect. Oh. It's a little off. There you go. I think you got him anyways. That's alright. E is max range E is kind of hard to hit. I would step up a little bit sooner to him. One thing you can do also with the E, go ahead and put a plant down. Even if you miss your E there, then the plant will still slow them. And that will give Skarner time to get into position a little bit more. So If you had an Amp Tome and you used a slow plant there, even if you missed the E, I think you would have had enough damage, potentially, to kill him. It would have been close, but... Oof. Yeah, against Misfortune, you want to make sure that you're not standing behind minions. Much like right here, she's going to do it again. Yeah, you can't... You got to really be aware of when minions are about to die, especially. You can't let her bounce them to you. If she does that again, you're dead. If Alistar combos you, you're probably dead. I would just honestly back up. I would just tell Cog to back up. Just ping him back. I think... No, you're gonna die. Yeah, you're... Oh, God. No, leave. She's gonna kill you. You don't know for sure that her flash is, still down, but it's getting close. Like, she, it's getting really close. Oh, let me do Fog of War for red. There we go. Make it more authentic. Okay, you see Scar, you can't do anything about that. Like, what I would have done there, you're just too low to fight that, probably. I would have just pinged Cog back, just say back, or tell him to go get this Gromp or something while you healed. What'd you get here? Boots. And that does help you position. You probably didn't have enough for, and you do need some kind of healing. You probably didn't have enough for an Amp Tome there. I really, really like getting an Amp Tome before you get to level 6 to make sure that you have full kill threat. If you had an Amp Tome plus Ignite on that Alistar play, you definitely would have killed him. Okay, so you need to watch out here. Obviously. Okay, it's good. They probably backed. They could be cheesing you right here. I'd run up there to help him. Yeah. You can turn that... Oh, wait longer. Oh, never mind. I got color confused there. I thought it was an ally. Yeah, okay. Good move. Who's your mid laner? Is he dead? Katarina? Where's Kat? Oh, Kat went bottom? What? Oh, she's still running from people. I don't even know. Did she... I don't know what happened there. But, I mean, I thought you did alright. You just keep running and they ran you down. Work on hitting those E's a little bit more. You've missed a few of them now. I know it's obvious, you know. So that's why I'm not going to say much about it. You just gotta practice it. I mean, you play Zyra a lot. You know, sometimes you just don't... In some games, you just don't hit him. I know how that goes. But I do think that throwing the slow plant, sometimes even if you don't hit him, having that extra slow can be very beneficial. So I know a lot of places, you know, a lot of people will say things like, don't, you know, and I've said this before too, don't use your plant unless you hit the E, then you Q and plant. That's really for trading in lane. When you're outside of lane, you can throw and get a slow plant down, even if you're not sure if you're going to hit it or not in some situations, because it still does slow even if you don't get the root, and sometimes that's enough to make a difference. I'm not sure why you're here for now. Yeah, I would go back middle. Middle's not such a lost cause that there's no way you can win it. Yeah, I would have stayed bot, because they're almost certainly going to get this tower, because Alistar can just dive Kog'Maw right now. I mean, he is down for sure, but that tower was full health. I think he probably should have stayed bot there. I mean, I don't think he's that much of a lost cause. She only had 1 kill on him. And before you left, she was probably only up like 15 CS, which is significant, but I don't think that's significant enough to give up the free first tower. So, I don't know. He might be raging at you or something, and he might be telling you to go mid. I can't see the chat, but I think in the abstract you should stay bot. Yeah. So there is a time and a place where you can give up on bot lane. I don't think that was the time or the place, though. There was so much health left on it. You have pretty good wave clear with your plants and with his slime trail that he does, that I think you could have defended it. Wards, don't flank. Don't. Okay, yeah, you got him. The Skarner, that's okay. Run, he's gonna get you. Yeah, you gotta work on the positioning a little bit. Like, going up with Skarner's kinda okay, but they have a much better skirmish than your team right now. Especially if Wukong is late to the party. The thing about Zyra is she's very squishy and she doesn't really have any mobility. Like, all you can do is juke, you know, skill shots, sort of, but she's very slow also. So you really don't want to flank. Right there, picking off the free ADC is fine, but I would not step into this lane when Yasuo's there, where there's all these minions he can bounce around to. There's just a really high probability that he's going to kill you. Or at least force a flash. So, like, picking off the ADC out of a bush is fine, but then you got to leave around mobile champions. Okay, good. So your pink ward paid off. What are they going to do? They're going to dive. Ooh, what? That was pretty troll. That was actually pretty good by Cat. She Zonya's the Misfortune Q bounce. I think she was sitting there baiting it though, like she just wanted to do it. And that's kind of stupid that she's just wasting a cooldown. Yeah, you gotta leave, Lise. You're probably dead again. Yeah, you don't... Or are you gonna fake him out? No, Yasuo's there. That's pretty nice by Lee. Yeah, stand in front of him. Stand in front of the plant. Okay, you got out of that one. But yeah, you do not want to push up against their team. They have a lot of mobility between Lee, Yasuo, and Pantheon. You probably noticed the Pantheon ult was down bot, but you still don't want to push up with Lee missing. Yasuo can just like run up the lane across minions. That Zyra's biggest weakness is that she's very immobile. Okay, you need to watch this. Alright. So yeah, you really want to just like be either in a bush and you kill someone and run away, or you hang out with your team like you're doing right now. So yeah, don't get close enough for Yasuo to do his thing. Where he just kind of dashes around all the time and then knocks you up and kills you. You go around this way, go around the safe way. Watch out, he's gonna run up this wave at you. Alright, that ended up working out. You kind of baited him with the exhaust, but I think that was still a really dangerous play. Alright, it's still dead. You should be able to get this. Katarina should back. I know she's trying to be cute, but... yeah, that's what happens when you get cute. You give up a bunch of kills. I think it was fine for you to be there. Did you use your E to clear a wave? Is that what the deal was? Let me see. Who's left? Yeah, Pantheon's left. Yeah, don't do that. Don't use your... You can't use your E for wave clear if there's a mobility champion that could be coming in. Oh, you still got him. You're just a little late on it. Yeah, you gotta hit him like right when he comes down. So like right in the middle of the circle, you gotta get that timing right and then throw it right on him with a slow plant. See, if you had your exhaust, if the Yasuo didn't come up and get you right there and force your exhaust, then you would have had it right there. Although, you know, you pulling Yasuo out of position did lead to that triple kill for Wu, so that ended up working out. So you did have your E up. But in general, don't use your E for wave clear if a fight might break out. And just watch out for Pantheon too, just expect that he could come in. They're gonna kill you. You need to leave. Potentially. It's hard to comment. I'm watching you so much and talking about your team. It's hard to talk about Alistar, so I hope you're the Zyra. Yeah. Do not get Warden's Mail as Alistar. You need to, if you're the Alistar player, you need to either go Zeke's or Knight's Vow. Or Locket. Locket's also legit against Katarina. And not Warden's Mail. You need to go back and buy. Don't you have a lot of gold? Maybe you did go back and buy. Oh yeah, you died, so you bought. Okay. You need to get Eye of the Watchers here. Coin is also legit on patch 7.14 before... They're not nerfing it on 7.15 either. It is legit because your build is so expensive and you need so much gold anyways. It's not obviously not as good on Zyra as it is on someone like Janna, but that's a legit thing if you want to power up your build by getting a lot of extra gold. Maybe in a lane where there's no way you're going to get a kill in that lane. Like, maybe if you're against a... I don't know. I guess you can kill Sona in lane, but if you're against just a heal, like a lane that's going to be healing and passive, maybe. I don't know. Eye of the Watchers is still probably better, but... You know, Coin Oasis is on the table if you want to get a lot of extra gold. I mean, maybe if you're against like an Ezreal Janna or something in lane, something that you're just not going to kill. Okay, so I'm going to say, let's see how this goes down. Watch out for him. Don't get in tornado range. Don't let him tornado you. Yeah, I think you were a little close. Like, you gotta play Zyra as a peeler more than an engager. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm noticing so far, is you want to be up there hitting their back line with your roots. That's what you want to do, is what it seems like. But you need to wait until they get onto you, and then you use your stuff to peel them back. Zyra is not a very good engager because that's going to put her out of position, and it's easier to dodge roots that way. Like, you need to save your roots for when people come in. A lot of times. So, I'm going to say... Stay further back. Be a peeler. So, you have to wait on Yasuo, for example, to ult someone else. Not you, but someone else. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me back us up just a little bit here. And we'll fast forward again to catch up. Okay, so when you see them here, first of all, you need to ping wait. Because we know Misfortune's here. We know Kog'Maw's in base, so Kog'Maw's out of this play. Wukong's out of this play. So you only have 3 people. None of them, you have pretty good ward coverage, and none of them are anywhere on this map right now. So really, the only place they could be is like here. They're going to be around here. Dragon's coming up very soon. So they're going to congregate there and try to get vision or just like hang out. They might all just be grouping to try to help Misfortune push this tower. You don't know where they are, but you know where they aren't. And they aren't on 3/4 of this map right now. So they're either in the base or they're like in this quadrant. And so there's a high probability that you're going to walk into 5 people in a dark place that you don't have warded. So you have great ward coverage across the map, just not right here. And that's where y'all are chasing him into right now. So you know Wu's out of the play, you know Cog's out of the play. Wu does have his teleport. What's your ward situation look like? Okay, you got 1 ward that you could drop for a teleport if you really wanted to. But it's not looking like a good fight right now. But let's see how this unfolds. Okay. Okay, so Cat's chasing him. This is way too far. Like I said, I would expect a minimum of 3 people to run out of the darkness here in a second. If not... or not 3, a minimum of 2 people. So I would expect at least 4 people to be here. Okay, so he's fighting her. The only reason he would possibly start fighting her, because he sees you right here. If you look at blue, like he sees you guys right here. Now, you could just assume that he's a fool, but try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I mean, most people, even, you know, in silver, bronze, whatever, they know numbers. They know there's 3 people there. Now, not everyone, obviously, but they know numbers. Here, I'm going to forward just a little bit so we don't get that noise. There. They know numbers, and the only reason that they would turn around and fight 3 people like that most of the time is if they have help coming, and they're trying to bait you. So you need to be very careful. And as we see, I just switched over to blue view. There are 2 there, so one is not there, but everyone else is there. All right, Misfortune can easily come back down, and it was a lot of darkness. Okay, so I'll put back on red. Okay, but whatever. You've committed to being in here right now. Don't use your E to try to hit him. He's too fast. He's too mobile. It's very difficult to hit him. I would do, if you're going to do this, I would just do a Q plant. Just so you're putting some damage on him, and then back up. Like, back up to, like, here. Know where your escape routes are. So, you didn't have this... You do have this warded. Okay, so you know that Pantheon's coming in. You need to be running for this exit right here. I would be watching this exit the whole time in this fight, because this is a bad fight. So when you run down here, and she's right here, fighting this guy, I would be, like, right here. Because this is the least likely place around here they're going to be. They're probably going to be, like, here or here, like I just pointed out. Remember, Pantheon can jump in from anywhere, also. So, I mean, he could be anywhere on this half of the map and jump into this fight. So, I mean, Lee can, like, do a bunch of tricks. He can jump over the pit and do all kinds of stuff, too. So, you throw the root. You double plant it also. I would only single plant there. If you're going to go for the EW, just single plant it. You want to save one plant. Like, E plant, Q plant, if you want to. Now, is this your ult or Cat's ult? It's Cat's ult. Yeah, definitely don't try to use your ult just on Yasuo there. You want to save that ult. Like, you need that ult to peel off Pantheon and Alistar. So, you're way too close at this point. The way this is positioned now, I would run, like, down south. You're really far out of position. But that's where I would go. You can't run back up into him because he's just going to tornado and knock you out, probably. Yeah. So now he gets to hit both of you. Yeah, you gotta... This Yasuo has got you a few times like that. Like, you just cannot be close to him. There's the Katarina, anyone but me mentality. I mean, Kog'Maw was obviously not there. Wukong was not there. There wasn't a good teleport ward for Wukong. Yeah, it's not really Wu and Cog's fault there. Like, y'all should not have... Cog was buying right before Baron, or before a dragon fight. I don't know. That's another thing in general, is you don't want to fight right before dragon's up, right? Because if you lose that fight, you're losing the dragon. Unless it's going to be like a very highly probable winning fight, you don't want to fight when dragon's up. Because if you die, you're also giving up dragon. So they should get the dragon off of this. Oh, okay, well, they goofed around and messed it up. How do they... Oh, Lee's just like AFK top, so your team gets it anyways. Okay. Y'all kind of left out on that one. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so I kind of understand why you want to get Banshee so that Yasuo, like, doesn't catch you with his tornado. But I think a lot of that can be fixed if you just position, just try it, just really far back, and just use, like, max range and just set plants down. Don't auto-attack people unless it's a melee, like, unless they get up really close, and then run away when you auto-attack. Like, Zyra is very dangerous, and you can all-in and blow people up from bushes, but she's very squishy if they see her. So you do not want to be anywhere close to where people can hit you with stuff. You need to hang out really, really far in the back. Like, really far. Like, people might question mark you and say, oh my god, Zyra, why aren't you doing more? But Zyra is very, very cooldown dependent and plant dependent. If you don't have plants, you're not doing anything. Your auto attacks tickle people. They don't do anything. Like, there's just... and your E is a really long cooldown. Not really long, but I mean it's reasonably long. So in other words, you have certain windows of power as Zyra, and if the window's not open, you don't need to do anything. You need to back up. This is why I recommend maxing W seconds. You have more plant uptime, which you do, which is good. But you want to use one plant at a time. Right there. Okay. Nice. Nice. That was great.
Shut down.
Just like that. And speaking of that, you need to be hiding in the shadows more. Like, you need to be, like, baiting people and sneaking up on them from dark places. That's really core as Zyra. I'm going to write that down. Hide out of sight more. Just find little places, little nooks and crannies where you can hide. So don't ever let them see you. He can head... Oh, that's really dangerous. That's dangerous. Oh, don't use your ult on the support. Yeah. Don't flank. You keep, like, running up and flanking, trying to flank in these fights. You really don't want to flank as Zyra because she's very, very vulnerable. Like, I don't know if Pantheon was dead there or what, but if Pantheon, like, jumps in right on top of you, especially after you ult, then you're, like, 100% dead. Especially with your flash down. Okay, run, run, run. Just run. Get up here, get up here, get up here. Alright. Okay, good ward. Watch it for the flanks. There you go, Ian. Okay, good. Alright, y'all need to back up. Back up, back up, back up. Back up. Yeah, they're gonna spawn soon. Just let him die. Probably gonna question mark a couple of times, but... Alright, good call. You should probably get a pretty good gold after this. Yeah, just push this up. Yeah, I think Mobies are probably good here. You might even consider Swiftness, Boots of Swiftness, because they have so much mobility. And you need to be able to get away from people in fights, like the Yasuo is chasing you or the Lee or whatever. That you might even consider Swiftness Boots. I really am not a huge fan of mobility. I mean, mobility on Zyra, I like mobility on most champions, but she really is not a flanker. And she gets punished for being out of position. I don't know. I would recommend, excuse me, either Sorcerer Boots or Boots of Swiftness. Sorcerer, obviously, for the damage, and then Swiftness if you want more safety. Yeah, don't worry about autoing him. I would just leave him alone.
Killing spree.
Lee could be here. So yeah, I would go Leandri's here, and just, if you want to work on your positioning or whatever, if that's what you're scared about with the, Okay, that was good. Good. Good play. If you're worried about the Yasuo constantly hitting you, I would just get Boots of Swiftness to help you dodge a little bit better, and then I would still go Leandri's. Just so much damage. You really, really need that as Zyra. Because they don't have that much, unavoidable damage. Like, you can avoid it if you just position a little bit better and maybe buy Swiftness Boots and hit him. Yeah. but I think you're giving up way too much damage for safety when you go Banshees now. I did like Banshees on Zyra a few patches ago before they nerfed the AP. It was okay. I would still say I like going Leandries into Banshees. I mean, Leandries is just like your powerhouse item at Zyra. That extra percentage damage and the penetration. It's just really, really good. Alright, yeah. Go ahead and fight this. Yeah, someone say swiftness plus Leandry, I think would be something that you might be in the market for this game. Don't chase him, don't chase him, don't chase him. Y'all need to get out of there. Get out, get out, get out, get out. Way too much darkness. Cog and Cat are... Okay. This is serious. This is very dangerous for you. You need to ward this and, like, leave. This is not where you want to be as Zyra. You do not want to be in the middle of all this. Like, it ended up working out. But, yeah, there's just, like, so much darkness. Like, anyone could just, like, fly over this wall. You know, Lee Sin could jump over this wall. I don't know. It's just extremely scary running in the middle of all this. When you know there's someone there, you know there's someone there. They just have so much mobility on their team. Alright, go get bot tower, bot tower, bot tower. Yasa's dead for another 20. I don't know, man. They have Misfortune and Pantheon. If Pantheon drops in and then Misfortune ults. Lee also has a lot of steal potential. I don't know how much you want to trust this Skarner. I mean, I haven't seen Skarner miss a flash yet, but... Okay, well, if Misfortune's going to show bottom, I guess you can do it. Yeah, that's fine. Misfortune basically gave up the Baron by going bottom. If Misfortune, like, came over here with Pantheon and ulted this pit when, like, Pantheon dropped in, that could have been really bad, but... Oh, Lee, never mind. Lee's not even their jungler. I don't know what I'm thinking. Got Blade of the Ruined King, Frozen Mallet Lee. Alright. Fair enough. Great. Wait, what were you doing? Were you getting the plant or something? Oh, you're backing. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, your team probably should have backed there. Yeah, it was bad. No, run. Oh, Yasuo's gonna run again. Yeah, I mean... I guess, you know, you can take a look over there. Like, you can walk over and just sort of see what you can do. But once you see a couple of them start dying right here, you just gotta leave. I mean, Cog's not there either. So, at best, you're walking into a 4v5. If they got a couple of kills and you were right here, you could help them out. Otherwise, you just gotta let them die. I know it sucks. It's hard. I mess up with that too. I'm always wanting to try to help people out too much. But you gotta let goofy people do goofy things. Back up so I can see that. Also, I haven't seen a lot of pings. I have seen some pings. Okay, Alistar just lost his mind. Run. Oh. You gotta watch for that tornado off this Yasuo. Stay back, stay back. Like, you got to wait on him to use that and just say, you know what, he's not going to hit me with that. That's what you need to do with these skill shots, is just look at the person and just think, he's not going to hit me with this. Whatever it is, and just make that your top priority. Do not get hit. If that means you have to wait another second or two before you throw your E, that's fine. But you need to be the one counter-engaging. That's what Zyra's best at. After they go in, you hit them with all of your damage. You do not want to be the frontliner trying to crowd control the person, to be the first one on the scene. You don't want to do that. You're not even the first one on the scene, but you don't want to be in range for people to hit you. Okay, good. One thing I'm going to mark really quick is shot calling. I didn't see a lot of pings. Like, people were doing a lot of goofy stuff. They need to hear about that. Like, not in a way that's going to be mean or get people to tilt, but you need to just tell them, like, they need to hear a couple of back pings if they're going to engage on 4v5. Just ping back a few times and just type in chat, 3v5, 3v5, no cog, back up, you know, something like that. Let allies die in bad situations. Like, that's really important to know as Zyra, because you don't have a lot of tools. If they're getting wrecked middle, I think this is probably about the end, right? Yeah, then we can move on to the post game here. Okay, so overall, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, especially as Zyra, you don't have a lot of tools in your kit to stop people from doing ridiculous stuff, right? So you're good at following up, you're good at doing a lot of damage, catching people out of bushes. Those are all Zyra things. She does that very well. But she can't really run around and save people that are doing stupid stuff a lot of the time. That's what Janna's good at. That's like what you want to do as Janna. As Janna, you're giving up a ton of damage, you're giving up a ton of pressure, but in exchange, you're able to potentially save people from doing really dumb things, and you can get out yourself alive. Zyra, no. You have a lot of damage. Oftentimes, the most damage in a game is a Zyra support player who's good. Right, Sadie? Often the most damage in a game is a Zyra support player. So you have a lot of damage, but the trade-off for that is you just gotta let people die. If they're doing stupid stuff, you can't roll up and try to save them, because it's not going to work the vast majority of the time. Zyra's kit is just not designed to be like that. She's designed to be like, boom, you know, raw power that has a lot of counterplay. They can dodge your roots. They can, you know, dash out of your ult if they're not rooted, but you have the raw power there. So that's really what Zyra's all about. So sometimes that means you just got to let people die. And that sucks, but you just got to get them back later with the triple kill or something, you know, when you do massive damage to people. Okay, so let's bring it all together. Okay, so I think one of the biggest things is position further back for skill shots out for high mobility. Because you got hit by Yasuo tornadoes a few different times, and I don't think... Sometimes he was aiming for you when you're by yourself, but a lot of times you would get incidentally hit, like he was trying to hit the Katarina, or he was trying to hit the Kog'Maw, and he just happened to hit you too, and that means you're clumped up, you're too close together. You need to space out and just watch, just think, what are the things that can kill me in this fight? And then just think, that's not going to happen. Okay, so in this team fight, you know, with their lineup, you have to be thinking, okay, you see this lineup, it just abstractly. One thing you always have to watch out for is Pantheon. Okay, if Pantheon's not in sight and he hasn't ulted, you have to expect he's going to ult. He's going to drop into this fight at some point, and I need to have, ideally, my E and a plant ready to deal with that. If not an E and a plant, at least my ult ready to deal with that. So that's one thing you need to be watching out for. Another thing is Lee Sin. You know Lee is going to want to connect with somebody, Q, and then, you know, ward hop or flash behind him and kick him back into the enemy team. Okay, so that's not going to be you. If he hits you with a Q, you need to hit him with the E as he's coming in with your plants to stop him from doing that. So you have a pretty good answer to that one. Yasuo is tricky because he can jump around so much. So if there's a minion wave nearby, you need to think, I'm not going to stand near those minions because he's going to jump around and end up getting me with stuff. And you also need to think, okay, I'm going to stand like 700 back. I'm going to wait for him to commit, use his tornado. Once he uses that tornado, then you can go at him. But until you see that tornado, you need to wait and just watch him carefully and wait on that thing to be on cooldown. If he tornadoes and knocks up someone on your team, that's a free hit. You get to go all out on him and just unload all your spells and kill him. So that's what you need to think. Okay, he's going to tornado hit my Katarina. Well, I'm just going to, like, E, W, Q, W, ult, ignite, ideally, and just blow him up. So just wait on them to go on people. Right? Alistar, just stay out of his ult range. Another thing is, you know, if they hit you with a crowd control, Misfortune could open up and kill you too. So you just need to stand real far back. Just wait, see how it unfolds, wait on them to use a couple of cooldowns, and then you go up, hit them with the whammy, knock them all out. I think that's a big one. That's probably the biggest thing that I can give you for this match, is just play back a lot more. Be more cautious. Do not be on the front line. Your E should not be the first thing that hits people unless it's out of a bush. You need to just wait. Unless they come onto you. Okay, so that's the biggest one. I would say stay bot with Cog longer. So there may have come a time when you would want to give up on that lane. I don't think that was the time. It still had a lot of health. You have a lot of wave clear with your E and your Q. And Alistar does have dive potential, but it's really hard to dive Zyra with her ultimate up. So I really think, I don't know what was going on in the chat. He may have told you to go middle. I don't know. But I think, in theory, you should stay bottom with him. I think you could have held that tower for maybe another 5 minutes or so. And that would have relieved some pressure middle. And it would have let Katarina have some more time to farm up before everybody started A-ramming middle. So yeah, so stay bot with Cog for longer. Hide out of sight more. This is something I didn't see you do a lot. There were some times where you caught people out of bushes. I remember you threw that plant over the raptor pit and killed somebody. That was great. You caught people in the brush sometimes. Let me pull up a map here real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So one of the best places after you give up on bot, you want to set up a ward like right here. You want to pink this bush and just hang out here. So you want to have a ward like here around dragon, like here, and then maybe one like here, or possibly over here. You could ward like here, here, and here. And then pink this, and then just sit here. So that you're still getting the experience from mid lane. You're still leeching experience, so that you're gaining levels. But they don't know where you are. So they don't know if you're roaming. They don't know if you base. They have no idea where you are. Someone's going to walk through here. Especially in silver and bronze, they're not going to respect darkness. So their jungler Pantheon's going to walk through here. Their mid laner might walk through here. Their bot lane might rotate through here, up here. So you need to just find a bush area and just put yourself there. And I think this is the best place. And when they walk up, they're walking by here, you just hit them with a full combo and kill them. This is another place where Ignite would be very useful. If you're positioning over here, like you're trying to get position for Baron or whatever, just ward here, pink, sit here. Just wait on them to come through here. A lot of people will use some kind of something to check this bush to see if you're here. Most people will not check here. So you just wait right here on this edge. As soon as they walk through this little death alley here, you just blow them up with everything. Other good spots, if a team fight breaks out, I saw you killed somebody here. Run around here and be like in this area throwing stuff. I remember you definitely killed somebody here, but then you continued on, and there's Yasuo and a couple other people here. You don't want to do that. You don't want to run at people face on. You want to kill them from the shadows and then just like sneak back around and get to your team. Or just like sneak back around and hang out here and hit them over these walls. So you need to be using walls for your own protection, but also so they don't see you. Because the skill shot E is pretty easy to dodge if someone sees it coming and they're watching for it. But it's very difficult to dodge, obviously, if you don't see it coming. So you just get superior vision control with Zyra and kill people around walls. And I saw you do that a couple of times. Like I said, you hit him over the raptor pit. You did kill the person here with the plants. But there were a lot of times where you're just kind of running at people also. Like just in plain view, and they would hit you with stuff and kill you. So just, if people are farming middle, try to hang out here. If you can't get this spot, if it's warded or they're just contesting it or you're just scared, then hang out here. And just wait. Wait for the Yasuo to engage on someone right here, and then just hit him with the plants around this. Just always constantly think, okay, you're contesting this tower right here. Or you were just fighting mid lane, but everyone's running away. Just run over here and hang out. Or if you're trying to siege this area, hang out right here. On your side of the map, if they're trying to run up and siege your tier 2, hang out right here. Have this warded, and then just hit them over this wall. You could hit them over raptors too, but a lot of people will drop a ward over raptors if they're clever. You were dropping wards over here over raptors, so it's very common. But they won't drop it here. If they do drop it here, it's going to be too late, because you can hit them with something when they try to do that. So I think there's just a lot of these great little spots where you can hide out. And I talk about this in my Zyra guide, so be sure to watch that if you haven't. But I talk about all these little shadowy spots where you can hide, be out of sight, and it's really good spots for you to land your E's on people. So constantly hide. It just puts extra pressure on them because they don't know where you are. And they always have to live in fear, because if they try to go ward a bush, you just might be there and kill them. I swear sometimes in silver and bronze especially, like I said, if you just get this bush and pink it, and just sit there forever, they will continually walk up to you to try to ward this bush, to see if you're still there, and you just kill them, like, every time. It's really simple. You just keep baiting them to kill them. If you know dragon's coming up, you can wait here or here in a bush and just wait on someone to come. Get an ally to come over here and just blow them up. Like, there are a lot of places you can hide. So, Zyra's not listed as an assassin, but in many ways that is one of her primary modes, is to kill people out of bushes as an assassin. So I think that would be very helpful if you try to practice that a little bit more. This is another thing that I talked about in the video. I understand that you were getting caught and killed a lot, and so I imagine that worried you, and that's why you got Banshee's Veil, so that Yasuo couldn't hit you anymore with his tornado, or so that, you know, Pantheon couldn't drop in and do a ton of damage to you. But I think with just a little bit better positioning, just that mentality of, I'm hanging out way in the back, I'm waiting on them to do stuff before I do anything. Or, I mean, you can, like, drop Qs and a plant from range, just so you're putting in a little damage, but save your E in a plant for when they engage. I think Boots of Swiftness and then Leandri's Torment would be... Boots of Swiftness are the same price as Boots of Mobility. They just allow you to reposition in combat, so while you're poking people with your plants, you can still run and get to the place where you need to be so you're not getting hit by stuff. So I think Boots of Swiftness right here would have been a good call. And then that would have freed up money for Leandri's. Banshee's Veil is about as much as Leandri's. I think it's 2,900 gold. And it's just astronomically more powerful on Zyra. So this would give you the safety that you wanted, but also allow you to have the gold just about to trade out your Banshees for Leandri's. So I think that would have helped out with your spike damage a lot. Also taking it at night, like I mentioned, would have been helpful as well. Okay, I did mention the let allies die. I'll say doing silly things. So I just talked about that a little bit ago, so I won't touch on that again. Sometimes, because of Zyra's kit, you just can't be the hero. You just have to let people die, and then just use a lot of your raw damage to get back into the game later. So ping your team more. So you need to ping people back. You need to be the eyes and ears of your team as a support. If they're running in, like that Katarina downriver, you need to ping her back like 3 times, and then ping Wukong, ping Kog'Maw, their pictures, and then say, no Cog, no Wu, or whatever, or 3v5. Like, just let them know not to do that, because she just sees somebody and just tunnel visions in there. She's like, oh, Yasuo, let's go kill him. I've got Zyra with me. We've got a 2-on-1. But it's not a 2-on-1 for the reason I just described. It is extremely probable that at least 2 of them are going to be down there. So you're going to be walking into, at a bare minimum, 3v2. And at worst, 5v2. So you have to ping people back and tell them that. If you just got done taking an inhibitor or whatever, and Wukong's staying back to farm, you need to ping him back. Say, get back, get back. Just reset, just ping him back, reset, ping your gold. Say, let's buy some stuff. Because he stayed and died. Your team wanted to run and engage middle when Kog'Maw was back. You need to ping them back. Just say back, 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 no Cog, ping your gold, say let's buy first, and then let's go middle. Now, will everyone listen to this? No, of course not. There are going to be some people that are just going to do what they're going to do. But there are a lot of people, you'd be surprised, there are a lot of people that want to do the right thing, they just don't know what it is, and they're willing to listen. The power of suggestion is very, very strong. That's why advertising exists. Okay, there's an entire multi-trillion-dollar industry based on this concept. If you suggest things, people will listen a lot. Not everybody. Not everybody buys that, Chevy truck or that BMW or whatever they see in a commercial, but some people will. And they may not have thought to buy it until they saw that commercial. It's the same concept in League of Legends. People may not have just thought, oh, I wasn't looking at the mini-map. I didn't notice that there weren't 2 people there. I should back up. Or, man, I really wanted to fight, but yeah, he's right. I do have 3,000 gold, so I should probably go back and spend it. Just suggesting things to people, not being rude, not saying, hey, idiots, back up. Obviously, you wouldn't do that. I'm just saying, sometimes people misconstrue, like, helpful suggestions for being rude. They aren't necessarily the same thing. I know pings sometimes get a bad rap because people spam pings, and it makes you look like a jerk if you spam pings. Like question marks on people. But actually not spamming, but like using informational pings are very helpful. If you ping back 3 times and just say, let's buy, or hold on, we need Kog'Maw, or something like that, that's really, really helpful. So try to work on that. That right there with positioning is probably the biggest thing that can help you get to gold and beyond, is communicating with your team more and positioning a little bit further back. So just throw those pings out there. Just let people know everything they need to know. Be their eyes and ears. Okay, and I think that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the donation, and thanks for your patience as well. I know it had been a couple of days. Been really busy with stuff, obviously, on the channel, so I appreciate your patience hanging in with me. And just let me know if you have any more questions. Just email me, and otherwise, have a good day, and I'll see everybody next time.